Nobody in the building understood it at first. They thought they were watching a hot streak, one of those nights where a young player catches fire, gets the crowd leaning forward, and tricks people into believing they just saw history. But this felt wrong in a different way. The arena was loud, yet underneath the noise there was that strange silence that only shows up when thousands realize the game has stopped making normal sense. Because what they were seeing from 19-year-old Zion Cade was not a lucky run, not a feel-good breakout, not another talented scorer announcing himself. There was basketball bending around one player that already knew he was inevitable. He was listed at 6 feet 8 inches. He played bigger than centers, quicker than guards, and calmer than veterans who had spent years learning how to survive the league. That was the first thing that made people uneasy. Not the points, not even the highlights. It was the control. Young stars usually allowed to be more experimental. Too much speed, too much dribbling, too much hunger for proof. They always had the game already in place of secrets. He came on the scene barely 3 years after the jump. He's driven out and turned the corner, split 2 defenders, hung in the air long enough for one to come down, and dropped the ball off the in that same position before he knew it. Then he got back on his feet, they stick pass, stole it with one hand, and finished in contact without changing position. No screen, no pass, no chest tap, just that cold look, like this was how it was supposed to happen. That was when the building changed. Fans stopped reacting to the myths and started reacting to the possibility. Every time he touched the ball, the crowd was no longer asking, "Can he score again?" They were asking, "What is he about to do that we haven't seen yet?" And that question is where superstar begins. Not when people admire your talent, but when they start expecting the impossible and still feel unprepared when it happens. At the end of the third quarter, the defense had triumphed. They switched smaller defenders onto him and got barely by. They sat back and watched him drive the bigs away from the rim before putting the ball off the dribble. They tried hard, and he tipped them away because he was so sharp they felt disrespected. The scouting report said he was dangerous. It did not say he could solve everything for the before the press finished asking the question. That is a different level of talent. That is the kind of player coaches lose sleep over because the scheme is not failing because of execution. The scheme is failing because the player on the other side is bigger than the idea itself. And the scary part was that this was not coming from desperation. It was not one of those high-usage explosions where a kid hijacks the offense and lives with whatever happens next. Cade was reading the floor like a veteran point guard, scoring like a wing built for the playoffs, and protecting possessions like he already understood that the difference between great players and unforgettable ones is decision-making under pressure. Every possession felt chosen. Every move felt edited. There was no waste in it. That is why the people who knew basketball were not celebrating the superstars. They were staring at the shape of the game around them. Former players moved on. Scouts stopped writing and started watching. Assistants on the opposing bench kept glancing at each other with the same expression. The one that says what you're prepared for is not what walked into the door. Because sometimes a prospect walks promise, sometimes something special. But once in a while, if you are lucky enough to be there, you watch a player arrive with the kind of presence that forces upon you. Not whether he will become a star, whether the league is ready for what happens if he becomes what he looks like right now. The box score hit social media before most people had even read out loud. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. For almost any night in the league, that stat line would have been a conversation point. But the numbers were not what made people becoming the young Victor Wembanyama. It was the feeling. San Antonio had not just found a star. They had stumbled into something the rest of the league was not ready to understand. By sunrise, every sports show was running the same clips. The pull-up three over a switch. The no-look pass through traffic that hit the cutter in stride. The strip at the elbow that turned into a solo fast break. The late-game possession where Cade walked the ball up, pointed his teammate into the corner, waited for a screen, rejected it, slipped into the lane, drew both bigs, and floated a pass over the top for an easy finish. It looked simple when he did it. That was what made it dangerous. The game around him was moving with panic. He was moving like he had slowed everything down. That morning, Hall of Fame point guard Andre Vail was asked what impressed him most. Vail was not a man who gave away praise for free. He had built a career embarrassing guards who mistook talent for readiness. He respected footwork, patience, timing, and control. Flash never moved him. So when the host played Cade's highlights and asked whether the kid was ahead of schedule, Vail did not smile. He watched the screen a second longer than expected and said, "That's not ahead of schedule. That's somebody skipping stages." The room laughed at first because it sounded like a clean television. Then Vail kept talking, and the laughter died. He said, "Young stars usually show you what they could become in pieces. Maybe you see the scoring before the playmaking catches up. Maybe you see the athleticism before the leads get clean. Maybe you see the confidence long before the discipline." But Cade, in his words, was already making better decisions at a pace most veterans could not match. That was the detail that mattered, not the talent, but the process. He's not reacting like defenders. He's forcing defenders to adapt to the future. That line spread over the He gave language to what people struggled to explain. Zion Cade was not dominated because he was stronger, faster, or hotter than everyone else. He was dominated because he was seeing one step ahead. The first defender was not his target. The help defender was not his target. He was attacking the panic after the panic, the rotation behind the rotation, the crack that only appears once five men realize the first time it's happening. That is the kind of skill box score is never fully captured, and it is the kind that turns great defenders into elite. The film room only made it worse. When teams broke down the first and there were no empty possessions in Cade's game. If he drove baseline, it was because he had already noticed the weak side were cheating too hard. If he settled for a jumper, it was because the defender's feet were dead and too low. He made more things. It was not generosity. It was punishment. He was using patience away from scorers for speed, making the fans wait just long enough to reveal the choice they did not make. They were driving the lead. By the end of the week, the second was withdrawn the conversation. Now his goal, retired defensive coordinator spent 15 years making the Stars miserable, was asked by how he gave the answer to most coaches. "You don't put one defender on him," he said. "You put a prayer on him and hope he gets bored." Then he got serious. Most scorers, Soren explained, tell you what they want after 2 or 3 possessions. They hunt a mismatch, favor a direction, return to a spot, reveal a comfort zone. Cade was different. "He doesn't repeat for your convenience," Soren said. "He teaches you one lesson, then kills you with what you learned." That was the first time fear entered the conversation openly. Not hype, not excitement, fear. Because if the old point guard was right, Cade was skipping stages. And if the old defender was right, he was already past the point where one snap could hold him. Suddenly the league was now talking about whether the kid was ready. That question had expired. The new question was more serious. How long do you have before everyone else sees something that is amazing? 3 games later, the noise around Zion Cade had grown too large to dismiss as when the season ended. It was no longer just what could be said. The conversation was reached the people who built their reputations by refusing to be impressed too quickly. And once those voices started lining up, the story changed from breaking to normal. First came Elias Trent, retired scoring champion who staying steady because he understood pressure better than almost anyone had ever lived. Trent was not watching highlights. He was looking at flaws in the spots where the scoring just faded into headshot. What defender bothered him? On a studio set, they asked if Cade's scoring would cool off once defenses adjusted. Trent watched a clip of Cade freezing a defender, rejecting the screen, and rising into a jumper, then said, "You're asking the wrong question. The problem isn't whether he can score once things adjust. The problem is that he's already scoring off the adjustment." That was the first real sign that Cade was bending the argument itself. He was not living off surprise. Teams had already sent length, traps, late doubles, and hard help from the nail. None of it looked clean against him. If they crowded his handle, he split them. If they sagged, he walked into rhythm threes. If the low man stepped up early, he floated the pass over the top. He was not surviving defensive attention. He was feeding on it. Trent saw it immediately because scorers recognize the moment a player stops reacting to the defense and starts controlling the defender's imagination. Cade was already there. Then came Ron Mercer, a former Finals MVP who had made a career out of winning ugly playoff games. Mercer never cared about regular season noise, so people expected him to cool the hype. Instead, he made it worse. He said Cade already possessed the rarest trait in elite basketball. He never seemed rushed by the moment that rushed everyone else. Mercer pointed to a late game possession in a two-point game. Cade isolated on the wing, felt the second defender inching toward him, spun out, reset the floor, and waited. Not because he had run out of options, because he wanted the defense to show their own. Young stars attack the first advantage, Mercer said. Great players wait for the best ones. That line hit hard because talent can be projected, but patience under pressure is much better. It was becoming obvious that Cade was not just overwhelming capability. He was making mature decisions inside the chaotic possession. He already had them, but the timeline everyone was using to measure him as well. A third voice came from the offensive side. That was one of the most weird stars in his head. This aspect stood out most of all. He did not mention the code of passing. He mentioned the shoulder. Ron is saying that Cade almost never showed his full intention with his own body. He would sell one route, keep his shoulders quiet for half a beat, then attack the opposite seam before the defender stops to recover. That's not raw talent, Ron said. That's manipulation. That's somebody who already understands what defenders listen to. Now the angles were split. The scorer saw a player punishing adjustments. The champion saw playoff patience. The defender saw a player lying with his body language in ways veterans needed to understand. Each voice came from a different place, but they were landing on the same note. Cade was not just wrong. He was wrong from his nature. The old craftsman spoke. Leon Ball, the kind of former ball-carrying player still called the capability case. They broke down Cade's possessions with sharp. That loved defense was not wrong. He talked about the pace change between dribbles. He knew the right hands got the contact. The extra beat he held on the line, forcing long to make a decision. And his most important point, he was all about. Everybody keeps talking about the spectacular stuff, he said. What should scare you is the ordinary stuff. He's already elite in the boring places. That may have been the most dangerous observation yet. Highlights can seduce people into exaggeration. Boring greatness wins for a decade. Keeping the dribble alive. Feeling the tag defender without looking. Knowing when not to force the shot to foul points. Those are the habits that turn stars into engines. Cade already had too many of them. By then, the discussion had outgrown excitement. This was no longer a beef of clips. It was evidence from too many angles to break away. The scorers respected him. The winners respected him. The stoppers respected him. The technicians respected him. And the deeper they looked, the less the dominance went away, which left the league staring at a more dangerous possibility on the hot hands. What if this was not the early version of Zion Cade? What if this was the slow version? At that point, the conversation stopped being about him. Nobody serious was asking whether Zion Cade had a star potential. Language had already fallen from his vocabulary. Potential was for players who flashed pieces, need a projection to complete the picture. Cade was already forcing professionals to change how they spoke. Around the league, coaches sounded less like commanders and more like young disciplinarians. You could compare players, you could track them, you could warn people against trouble. But once it arrived, he did not care what defender happened. The next week proved why. San Verano went on the road against Culver City, the best defensive unit and one of the few teams proud enough to keep structure in humble fun. They had length on the wing, muscle at the rim, veteran communication, and a coach whose reputation had been built on making young stars look impatient. For most of the first quarter, the plan worked on paper. Cade saw crowded lanes, shrinking gaps, early tags, hard switches. The floor looked tight. The game looked ugly, and then it changed. He stopped attacking to score first. That was the adjustment that broke them. Instead of forcing highlight plays through the traffic, Cade turned the defense into a machine that worked for him. He walked defenders into screens at angles that opened the middle by inches, not feet. He hit the weak side before the help could recover. He fed the short roll, then relocated for the return pass. He touched the paint, backed out, touched it again, and each time the shell collapsed a little harder until the corners began to open. By halftime, he did not even have one of his loud scoring nights, and Harbor City still looked exhausted. Late in the third quarter, the game delivered the possession everyone would want. Harbor City switched a rangy forward onto him, then shaded the big toward the nail to close the gap. Cade dribbled left, paused, turned his back, and for a split second was trapped. The forward pressed into him. The help defenders stood up high. The crowd leaned in, expecting a bailout pass. Cade pivoted once, felt the pressure, spun baseline, absorbed contact from the rotating center, hung in the air, switched the ball to his outside, finished off the glass, stole the inbounds pass, and jogged around as if the sequence had exploded. The arena did not react well, yet the crowd exploded at once. After the game, Harbor City's coach gave a kind of absolutely satisfying listen to the player play success. He said, "With some players, we're scheme first. With Cade, we're scheme against the play." That was acceptance the entire Wemby continuity, because it captured the players that it could. Cade was not simply beating defenders one-on-one. He was using the intelligence of the defense against itself. The more disciplined the team was, the more predictable his pass became. The more connected its rotations were, the more he could anticipate when the second and third decisions were made. Basketball had always been one structure. Cade was turning structure into something he could read like that. That is when the future talk got loud. Analysts stopped debating whether he could become all-NBA. It sounded too small now. Former players became floating stars. Nobody should be allowed to fail. 28 points without hijacking the offense. 11 rebounds because his size and how many pieces belonged to him. 9 assists because every track was his vision. 2 steals from anticipation. 2 blocks from sheer reach and instinct. And none of it simply because of him. The ceiling was no longer fantasy because his floor had elevated from the real control. When a player begins that high, projections stop feeling like imagination and start sounding like words. Like the most dangerous development had nothing to do with the numbers. It was the mood. Cade wanted the ball when games tightened. He did not hunt it with nervous energy or wave teammates aside to prove he was fearless. He simply drifted toward ownership. Possessions started finding him because everyone on the floor could feel the same truth. The calmest mind belonged to the youngest player. Veterans can ignore gifted kids. They cannot ignore someone whose presence slows their own heartbeat in the final 2 minutes. By the end of the road trip, the language around Zion Cade had shifted. He was no longer being discussed as a future face of the league. Faces self-belief. Cade felt like the kind of player that motivated. The kind that forces front offices to rethink roster construction, forces coaches to invent new coverages, forces rivals to write and fill their championship window as already closing faster than ever. And buried beneath all the praise was the one thing nobody wanted to say yet. And this was what Zion Cade looked like while learning to lead. What was supposed to happen once he stopped learning and started living. By the time Zion Cade returned home, the argument was over everywhere except in the office that were too stubborn to admit what they were watching. The clips were still circulating, the numbers were still climbing, and every new Cade show kept drawing them into conversation as if they were still too sides to it. But inside locker rooms, film rooms, and front offices, nothing had changed in a year. Nobody seriously was debating whether Cade was real to the league. They were debating how long it was to the impact before real careers began. That was the moment when all the separate reactions began to merge into something bigger. The old point guard who said he was skipping stages. The scorer who said he was already punishing adjustments. The champion who saw playoff patience in a teenager. The defender who recognized manipulation in his shoulders. The craftsman who warned that the boring parts of his game were already elite. The coach who admitted his own scheme became the problem. None of them came from the same generation. None of them valued the game in the same way. Their standards were built in different eras against different opponents inside different versions of basketball. And yet every road kept leading to the same place. This was not another gifted young player arriving on schedule. This was something the league did not have a category for yet. That was why Zion Cade felt bigger than hype. Hype is loud, but it fades the second reality pushes back. Cade had already faced reality. He had seen loaded coverages, veteran traps, physical wings, disciplined help, and late-game possessions where the defense knew exactly who the ball was going to. None of it had made him look rushed. None of it had made the game look too big. If anything, pressure seemed to simplify him. The tighter the possession became, the clearer his decisions looked. That is not normal for a 19-year-old. That is not even normal for stars. Most great players need years before the game starts slowing down at the highest level. Cade had arrived with that slowness already living inside him. And once people understood that, the fear changed shape. It was no longer about the hot season or a spectacular run of form. It became the fear of timing. How many months did defenses have before their screens came? How many years did rivals have before the star against them? How much room did contenders really have before their opponent looked this complete before the big push made every trip? Those are the questions that define a true franchise after all. They do not just threaten teams, they threaten everybody's future. General managers started studying players with desperate honesty. Wings who once looked long enough suddenly seemed small. Bigs who once looked mobile enough suddenly seemed heavy. Shot creators who once felt untouchable suddenly looked ordinary beside players who could control space, pace, and panic for everyone at the same time. The final confirmation came quietly, which somehow made it hit even harder. After a win that pushed Sam Milano higher than anyone expected, Cade was asked what part of his game he trusted most when everything went down. Reporters expected him to say his shot, his handle, his vision, maybe his confidence. He paused, looked down, and said, "The next play, not the jump, not the crossover, not the reads. The next play." For simple words, every veteran understood the answer. But the answer belonged to someone who was not in love with defense. Someone who did not need the last possession to feel okay. Someone who already understood that real exciting basketball comes from attention. Being able to move on without emotion versus the possession to do it. That was the part of the crowd that could easily leak from the most. Gifts were obvious. The size, the timing, the balance, the touch, the vision. Everyone could see those. But gifts alone do not bend a sport around one player. Mindset does. Discipline does. The refusal to rush does. Cade had too much of that too early, and that is why the excitement around him kept hardening into certainty. By then, the